And welcome back. This is just a quick little example using what we had last time on vectors and sorting stuff. But I wanted to show you something that's really, really cool. I don't think it's in the book. If it is, it's somewhere buried way in the back. It's not part of the class, but this is just something that's kind of fun. So don't take this as a topic that we are quote, taught and need to know, but just an interesting concept with the way things work. We've been passing variables back and forth to functions for a while now, so hopefully you've got that down. We also managed to pass things back and forth that used reference variables, which basically, as I said, the ampersand sign means address of, so that allows people to use the original and change it as need be. And here's something really cool. You have in the ability, started with C and has been carried forward into C++, and it's been replaced now by templates and some other things, but this is old school. It's just kind of fun. You can actually specify in a function definition the passing of a pointer to a function. So in this function, in my rewritten bubble sort, I pass the vector as an ampersand so you can change it, and then I pass it a Boolean returning function pointer that takes two variables. So any function that matches the signature of a name, two types of integers, and a return is available for me to use here. And just to show you, I've actually written two functions. I wrote a greater than function and a less than function. So you could actually now use these two functions inside the call to bubble sort. So rather than have to write a bubble sort that sorts from small to large, or a bubble sort that sorts from large to small, or both of them, or have some sort of flags or whatever you wanted to do, you could actually pass in the function, we call these comparators, that will compare two values and tell you whether the first one is greater than or less than the second one. And here's how it works. There's the bubble sort line. I still pass it the vector, but then I give it the name of the function that I want it to use for comparison. So this is the less than function. If I run the less than function or the greater than function, it comes all the way down here into the bubble sort, passes in a function, I call it test here, and then I say, here's where you would normally test for less than or greater than. I go test. Test the first one with the next one. If the test function you give me is true, do a swap. If it's not, don't do a swap. So if I pass in less than, that'll say, is this one less than that one? If it is, swap it. Which that in effect, the less than function means sort the array from largest to smallest. If I pass it the greater than function, if this is greater than that one, it'll be true. It'll swap it. That is a standard, incremental sort. So it takes it from the smallest to the largest. So just by changing the function call, here, and here I'll just do this, greater than. I can pass it the greater than function, and if I build it and then I run it, you'll see the first number now, the min effectively, is 10, and the max, the last number, is 45 because the greater than function sorts this thing so the big numbers move to the back of the vector. But I can just as easily, with one change to my code, no change to my sort, because my sort's just going to use whatever function I pass in there, I can stop this guy, I can build it, and run it again, and boom, look what's happened. My first value in my vector is now the largest, and my smallest value is now in the last position. So my first is now largest, my last is now smallest, so I have sorted it opposite direction. I've sorted it descending. This is just something that's really kind of fun to play with. It gets really complicated if you're doing modern programming. We don't use this stuff much. We have different ways of handling it. But just to show you that all kinds of things that we're doing inside our programming gives us the ability to treat functions, and as I think I said when I first introduced them, functions are effectively code variables. So I can pass a pointer to a variable which will run the code that is going to be sitting right there. So you can now run functions as parameters to arguments to function calls. So you write functions, you use functions inside other functions as parameters to functions, and all you change right there is just like a variable, you give it the name, and boom, off it goes, and that changes how the bubble sort works. You could do the same exact thing with selection sort by adding it in, but this is just a quick way of showing you something really kind of cool. So welcome to the whole concept of function pointers, or basically reference values being passed to use a different function. and the ability to actually call your code and just change how the comparison's working and change the net output of what's happening inside your code. Anyway, I thought this was kind of fun to show. Thought you might like it too. Hope you all having a great day.